All right, so I have this list. It's 20 stereotypes from cop movies. I don't know if we'll get through all 20. Some of them I think are unlikely that you'll have encountered, but some of them, like the first one, is the rogue cop that doesn't play by the rules, constantly clashes with his superiors, but always gets results. That sounds like he could be out there.
100%. Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing about that, though. Usually, he's a scumbag who's more crook than cop. You know, they exist. They get results, but because they cut corners and don't do things the right way and trample the Constitution or, do really suspect things in order to get the results that they're getting. I met a few of those along the way, but for the most part, that's not really a thing. Usually, it's not like the way the movie's portrayed as this superhero who, just bucks the system. It's like it's a crappy cop who just abuses his authority to get arrests. It's kind of more like that than what you'd see in a movie or a TV show. I
want to see which one of them you are. Do you fall into any of these cop tropes? I don't think you're the rogue cop that didn't play by the rules. So that doesn't seem like you. How about number 2, the cop on the edge that's haunted by trauma, addiction, or personal tragedy, and he's one bad day away from losing it? Do you know that guy?
That's all of us, more or less. If you've done it for any length of time, it's a tough job. And like I say, you set up for everybody's worst day ever. And so long story short is, a lot of cops, if you don't get help, if you don't have community outside of the police department. So I basically just I hung out with non-cops most of the time off duty, and that kept me grounded. But like, you can identify with your job too much, and that happens sometimes. You can see a lot of traumatic things in a row. I had a buddy of mine. This is depressing, by the way. It's a dead kid story, but a buddy of mine who was on the Active Self-Protection podcast, who I'm going to guess, I don't remember the exact period of time, but in the span of 2 months, he responded to 2 children who drowned to death in a pool, 2 separate incidents, and within 2 months. He had kids of his own. And then a very short time after that, he had to shoot and kill someone in the line of duty. And if you listen to that podcast, you'll hear him talk about, I turned to porn, booze, like anything I could do to just take my mind off of all this awful stuff. And it's a real thing. I know a lot of cops who there's a joke. This is pretty dark. You ready for this one? There's a joke that after I'm done cleaning my service pistol, I add a little cinnamon extract to the muzzle. That way it tastes better when I'm chewing on it at 3 a.m. There you go.
That is dark.
It's very dark. But yeah, it's a tough job. Not everywhere. There's places like Mayberry type places where it's not so bad, but most places you're going to see bad stuff. And if you don't get help, if you don't stay grounded, don't have community and family around you, it can go that way pretty quickly. So
the lesson I took away from that is be careful around pools.
That too. Pools are really dangerous, actually. We have one, and I kind of wish we didn't.
Well, the odds that he would have 2 within a span of a couple months, it just seems like how unlikely that possibly is.
That is pretty unlikely, but pools are dangerous, dude, for kids and pets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pets?
Oh, the kids are fine, but the pets we're worried about.
Speaking of animals, did you see the video from today's? I guess it was in the app, not on the channel. But a dude has to shoot a bear in his house. It was crazy.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Yeah, goes downstairs with his AR and runs into a fucking black bear.
Maybe we can look at that one next week. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be funny. We start watching ASP videos over here.
Yeah,
we should
reacting to me on ASP.
Or reacting to John. We'll roast Korea.
Yes.
How about number 3, the grizzled veteran? He's older, cynical, and counting the days till retirement.
That's very real. That's 100% real.
Every cop within shot of retirement.
Yeah, you get burnt. Not everybody. Some guys love it forever and they have great assignments. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough job. And after 25, 30 years, depending on where you work, again, you're ready to go.
Well, and most cops are, I guess it seems this way. There's probably a lot of cops that don't, but it seems like it's more of like a physical type job. Like, I guess there's management that are behind desks, but most cops are out, or you think anyway, of them running around and chasing criminals and kicking in doors.
Yes, and
I'm
it's
sure
better
that
to
gets
be.
harder the older you get.
Yeah, it's a young man's game for sure. But but although there's plenty of guys that to stay in really good shape their whole career. I more or less did. I've been retired for a few years, and it's evident
A
if you
little
see me
more.
from center chest area down. It's not as felt as I used to be. Anyway,
6'2", 290. It's amazing.
yes, it is. I keep gaining weight.
How about number 5? Was this you, the by-the-book officer, obsessed with regulations and proper procedure, usually set up as a foil to the rebel?
No, I mean, I used to I have a running, not a joke, but a saying like policy is your friend. Like it's good to know the parameters in which you work. It's good to know the law, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. It's good to know your department's policy because if you fall outside of it, you're putting yourself at risk for personal liability. And so don't do that. Um, but no, there's a few who are super duper sticklers, but I didn't
Hassle
see very
people
much
for
of that.
jaywalking and shit.
Yeah, those people.
Yeah. How about number 6, the dirty cop, on the take, working with criminals, betraying the badge for personal gain?
I'll tell you a personal story about a case. I think the statute of limitations is up by now. Yeah, it is. I worked in a group for a while that worked on the border in San Ysidro, California, busiest land border crossing in the world. Hundreds of thousands of people a day cross there. The line to get in and out of Mexico is insane. Anyway, so we would get somebody found dope in a car. So like usually a lot of dope. It was a very busy port. You'd get keys and keys and keys of cocaine, heroin, meth, liquid meth, weed, all kinds of stuff.
That sounds
And
great.
they would find us. They would find it. They would call one of us as an investigator, like a detective, to go down and do the investigation and talk to the person or whatever. Anyway, I did one of these, and the guy that I arrested had something like 2 strikes on the state side, so he was looking at like a long time in prison. So he fought the case. So the drug on for like 2 years before it went to trial. We start getting ready for the trial, and we have to get all the people that were involved in the initial arrest. So the people who stopped him initially, the people who questioned him, the people who pulled the drugs out of the car and weighed it, and people took pictures and all that other stuff. And by the time we got to trial, the guy who was the one who pulled the dope out of the car, so he opened the secret compartment, took all the dope out, weighed it, boxed it as evidence, and sent it on its way to the evidence vault, had been arrested by the FBI corruption task force for basically waving through dope and guns and gangbangers and people with, letting them all into the country through the border for money. And so that was the guy we had to go take him out of his parents' basement in the Bay Area and put him on the stand so the defense attorney could be like, because we have to ask the questions. Did you seize it's all very procedural. Did you seize the drugs?
That doesn't fuck your shit up that he was arrested?
100%. It absolutely should.
Oh, okay.
And it should have, honestly. But we were able to do damage control and still get a conviction, despite that guy being a piece of crap. Because I think the jury realized, okay, he's a piece of crap, but this particular thing he did, it wouldn't make any sense that has anything to do with his corruption. He was just doing his job that day by seizing dope that someone else pointed out to him. If anything, I'd wonder if maybe he took a little bit off the top. Like, he's the one that's weighing it. And sometimes they're alone when they're weighing it. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was skimming a little of the Bolivian marching powder off for himself.
A little sneak-a-doodle bite.
Indeed.
How about number 7, the one last case cop? He's about to retire, but he gets dragged back in for one final investigation.
No.
Do you know that guy? Never met that guy.
No, that's not a thing. No.
The angry chief. I've asked you about this before. This is the guy who's like, Willever, get in here. Like, yells constantly about paperwork, budgets, and rules while threatening to suspend the hero. You know that guy?
So again, I referenced So I Married an Axe Murderer before. That's the whole storyline, is like the guy wants to be the rogue cop, but it's a funny storyline. And so he actually asked his boss to, like, could you yell at me and call me in here and like dress me down really loud so I have to close the door so the other guys don't hear you yelling at me? No, there's guys who get in trouble. For the first 2 years of my federal career, I thought my first name was fucking, because all I would hear is fucking Willever from my boss in the next room. And he just didn't. He was an angry guy. I love him to tears. We get along great now. He loves me to tears now. But I think I was the guy that if we're out in a public place, like at a briefing for an operation or something, and any questions, if my hand went up, he was like, what's he going to say? That was me.
I think this was you, number 13, the wisecracking cop who uses sarcasm and one-liners in moments of danger. That sounds like you. You'd have a funny quip before you kick in the door.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was the funniest guy most of the time. There was a few other guys that were
You're way
really
funnier
funny.
than that earlier cop, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yes, Frog did just say sneakadoodle. Matt Chewbacca, he did say that.
Well, that's from that Joe is Hungry channel. I didn't just make that up. I was referencing something from Uncle Rico.
Real quick, I just want to. So who is it? June Cleaver's Beaver. Hey-o, with $5, asking, have you ever worked with the RCMP Border Integrity Unit? No, I never worked at it's Royal Canadian Mounted Police. For those who don't know,
mounted.
And said mounted. No, I never worked the Canadian border. But if you've got stories of interest to me, I do run a podcast, Mike at activeselfprotection.com. Hit me up and let me know if you have stories. I'd love to talk about it.
You should check out their podcast, too. It's amazing. Lots of Mike Willever on there. This is one that I thought was funny. The cop who's forced to work with a civilian, reporter, witness, or unlikely sidekick. Like, that always seems so unlikely to me. Has that ever happened where they're like, Willever, you got to go on a stakeout and bring this reporter with you?
No. No. When I was a summer cop, like I had a Baltimore Sun reporter follow me around for a day to do a feature piece on the seasonal police officer program.
Aw.
That was fine. They wrote a nice article. Everything was fine. Yeah, but other than that, no. I'm sure there are officers who have to deal with that sort of thing. It's probably like a First Amendment auditor or an activist who wants to do a ride along, to get to know what the police do better, and they're it's antagonistic, but for the most part, no, it's not really a big thing.
I did come across a First Amendment audit video when I was looking for stuff for today's episode, and they're like, I guess we'll probably watch some, but they're very annoying. Even when I'm on their side, it's because I am about as libertarian as it gets, and I get it, but it's like they're as annoying as they could possibly be, and that's coming from me. So
yeah,
we will watch them though. And
like
some
John likes to say, don't exercise your rights at people. Like just exercise your rights. And if you're just following cops around harassing them all day who aren't doing anything, you're trying to instigate something, that's just annoying and obnoxious. If you see a cop doing something wrong, yes, I want you to videotape it. I want you to make a note. I want you to ask for an investigation, all that sort of thing. If you see someone being abused, yeah, I want you to document it and all that stuff. But just to follow cops around all day and take pictures of them and be a douche is not great. It's not helping anybody.
Get a job and be productive.
Right. I sure do hope you liked that last clip. You know you did. If you did like it, do me a favor, hit the like button. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. What could it hurt? I mean, why not? It's free. Enjoy.